The other thing that I wanted to go over, and the final thing, is this notion of prefabs. So I'm going to create a new folder. We're going to create this folder, and we're going to call this prefabs. So over the course of your development in Unity, what's going to wind up happening is that you're going to build out all kinds of game objects, right? And you're going to customize them and tweak them to your heart's content. Well, one of the things you're going to want to do is save out instances of those. And we can drag an instance from the hierarchy into the prefabs folder. And you'll see now we have this cube, and this is a prefab. In fact, I can drag this cube out here and put it right next to it. And now I have cube 1 and cube 2, and they're going to share the same values. So some things that I want to explain, though, is that you'll know this first you're working with a prefab because it has this new prefab tab here called Select, Revert, and Apply. And the reason is that you can edit either the master prefab. So if I go in here and I edit this and I do Hello World and I fix this back, then I go and I select my game objects, you'll see that each one of these now has Hello World because I changed their parent. If I was to override this and write hello prefab, you'll notice that the text became bold. I'm in this instance, and this has not been saved back to the prefab. In fact, if I select this cube, you'll see that it still says Hello World, and this cube here says Hello World. Now, here's where it starts kind of getting a little confusing, but you got to pay attention to it, right? This is the master. If I was to change Hello World again, and look at my first cube, you'll see Hello World again has been changed. Now if I select the second cube, you'll see that it hasn't been changed. And that's because I've already overridden the default property. Now I can revert this, and it'll get all the changes back from its parent. Or I can do this. I can change this text here. You'll see that it says Hello World. I can hit Apply. And now if I look at the prefab, you'll see that it has actually changed this. So I was able to save changes from an instance back up to its parent. The only thing that doesn't really get saved and isn't applicable is the transform. This stuff is always going to be unique per instance. So that's sort of a high level of how we work with prefabs. And prefabs are going to be incredibly important throughout our game. We're going to use them a lot. And once you get a handle of them, they're incredibly important. It's also just important to remember that anytime you change stuff in the scene and you want it to go back to the parent prefab, that you need to hit Apply.